Hi, how's it going? Today we're doing pork fried rice. So we're preheated. These two burners are on medium, these two burners are on low. So first goes down the pork. No, I lied. The pork does not go first. The rice goes first. This cook is kind of backwards. Usually proteins go first because they take the longest. This time the rice goes first. Pork actually goes second to last in this cook. So they say what you're supposed to do is make a whole bunch of rice the day before you do this cook and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight to dry out, because dry rice crisps up better. But what I did instead is I used Uncle Ben's 90-second rice that comes in the packet, and yeah, that's cheating, kinda, but it works really well. It works just the same. And if it overcooks a little bit, that's kind of okay for me anyway, because I actually prefer crispy rice. You know, so I don't mind if a little bit of my rice gets a little overcooked. So you got butter in with your rice. What you want to do is kind of pat it out a little bit, like this. And then at first what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of, this is just green onion and garlic, just to kind of get it a little bit fragrant at first. And then if you try to make fried rice at home, then this is kind of the secret sauce that I'm using right here. If you want it to really taste like takeout, you just need, this is, I don't even know what brand this is. I can't pronounce that. But it's just sesame oil, toasted sesame oil. That's a good trick. So get yourself some sesame oil if you want to do this at home. And what I do instead of soy sauce, that bottle's empty. What I do instead of soy sauce is I use tamari, which is kind of like, they tried to explain it to me. It's kind of like a condensed version of soy sauce, basically. And you get all this in there. So this is where you get two spatulas going, so you feel like a real hibachi chef. You know, I can't do all the flipping it around my finger or anything, but you really want to get all that incorporated. The trick to the soy sauce is just put enough in where it gets it darkened. And actually, this baby's getting pretty warm, so we're going to turn those down and turn the ones on this side all the way off. This side is still going to get plenty hot to keep things warm. Chop up those parts of rice as best you can. So next time you go to hibachi, don't be comparing me to the guy sitting in front of you flipping these things all over. Don't look at his technique, because he'll make me jealous. So this is pretty, when we kind of have this in a, like a pillow like that, we kind of slide it over, kind of put it on the cooling spot over here. It'll still continue to cook a little bit. But then what we're going to do is butter. This cook includes definitely a good amount of butter. And on top of that, we have bean sprouts, peas, and diced onion. That's pretty typical. I mean, you can put carrot, you can put whatever vegetables you want. But get these guys going. The last time I did a fried rice, a shrimp fried rice, I did not have bean sprouts in there because it was during a snowstorm, and we went to the grocery store to try to get all the ingredients, and for some reason during a snowstorm people hoard all of the bean sprouts. Sorry for the background noise. Apparently I live a lot closer to an Air Force base than I thought. Alright, so we're going to top that with sesame seed oil again, really drive that home. Let these guys crisp up nice. Not crisp up, but kind of let all those flavors get in there together. You don't want to cook your onions down until there's like nothing left of them. You want to do, you want to get a little bit, have a little bit of snap to them. Not crazy, but like you don't want them so raw. But you don't want them to be all mushy and stuff either. Once in a while, go back, give your rice a little turn. And what I'm going to do is get all this settled over to the side. Work on these a little bit. Get this all turned up. I already told you guys, I'm not a pro. I'm not a professional cook, so I don't know if all this turning and stuff is necessary. But I think it's cool, and I think I look pretty cool doing it, so that's why I'm doing it. Even a little bit. We'll let these cook down for a little while. We got our rice pretty much all set over here. A little bit more garlic and green onion on these. We've already added our tamari and our sesame seed oil. You gotta have a little beverage. I think it's like, actually today was a pretty cool day. I think it was like, we only got into the 80s, like low 80s. It wasn't too bad. Yesterday, that cook I did yesterday, I don't know what in the world made me want crepes in the 95-degree weather. But hey, that's just the way it worked out, I guess. So I think I'm probably going to time-lapse this video to my Facebook and Instagram. But for YouTube, I think I might keep it real time. I did have a couple people say that they like the real-time videos. So maybe that's just what I'll post to YouTube. Or I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. I'll kind of figure it out. A little bit of oil. Oil and butter is always a good deal. And just so you know, everything that I put down is pre-seasoned for the most part, like salt and pepper and all that. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but that's just kind of the way I do it. You can see right here, I got a little sticky stuff. Just gonna scrape that out, send it back into the grease trap. So that's our butter. Oil down, ready for the pork. Get it nice and thinned out. And while this is kind of working on its first side here, I'm going to take my rice and my veggies over here, kind of start combining those. Let those all kind of melt together nicely. That's looking pretty good. It smells really nice. And I am going to get a little bit of tamari on the pork and a little bit of sesame oil, and I'm going to do the last bit of my green onions and garlic. I'll toss a little bit of butter on there as well. So the first 3 parts, we'll hit a little bit of pepper. I like my stuff a little bit more peppery than most people. The first 3 parts here are pretty much set. You know, this pork will go pretty quick. The pork really sets off the flavor for the tamari on the pork. So this pork is, since it's really, you know, it's pretty small pieces that I've chopped it into. I just used pork chop, boneless pork chop that I got. It was like $5 at the grocery store for 2 of them. And I just cut it, you know, in pretty small pieces, and because it's so small, it cooks pretty fast. So, I mean, that pork's pretty much, it's not done, but it's ready to add in with everything else, so we're gonna go and do that. And as far as portions of each one, I don't know if there's a perfect mix of that. I'm not really sure. I kind of wing it like I do most things. This was kind of a last minute idea that I had, so we're just gonna rock it out and see what happens. Could be great, could suck. You don't know. What I am gonna do is move all this stuff over, give it one last good sizzle on this side of the griddle, right here. And since this is the cool side, I have a paper towel drawer on that side of my island. So what I'm going to do on the cool side is get all this extra food moved over. Try not to lose any of it in the grease trap. You could just leave all this without the pork and stuff, and you'd basically already have fried rice, or add not pork but shrimp or more vegetables or whatever you want, beef. I'm sure that would be good. But you know, I like pork fried rice better than just about anything else on the menu at the Chinese food place, so that's why I make the pork fried rice at home, see if I can try my hand at it. We gotta get this clean, move it off to the side, and of course, if you know fried rice, you're gonna have some eggs, and scramble eggs into that fried rice. So we're gonna do, for this amount, I'd say about 3 eggs is good. So what we do is we take an egg, crack it, stick her on there. Take the egg cracker, stick her on there. Cackleberry number 3. Oh, looks like we got a shell in that one. That's not a big deal. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take that shell right out, throw it down the trap. So these eggs are, let them set up a little bit, but then you can start tossing them around. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the heat right here. All that residual heat will be plenty for that. Probably could have kept these two burners on for a little bit longer because that egg is taking a little bit, but not the end of the world. Give this a little turn. Oh yeah. That smells pretty good. Give that egg just a tiny bit more time. See how we finally got some, kind of solidified a little bit there, so that's kind of what we're looking for. I did just resurface this on Sunday, this Blackstone on Sunday, because it was looking a little hairy, but the egg's not sticking, so looks like I did a good job, if you can believe that. So we're gonna throw our egg in there, and then after this, guess what? We're done. Toss it around just as much as you want. Some people would probably add more soy at this point, or sesame seed oil, or whatever. Probably not the sesame seed oil, but most people would probably add more soy sauce at this point. I don't, because I don't like my stuff too salty. You can always add salt or seasoned salt or, you know, soy sauce once it's plated and in front of you at the table. So move this over to the cool side. The cool side of the pillow. Over here. And that'll keep that warm over here while I'm serving. In the meantime, a little bit of housekeeping with this kind of leftover kind of sticky stuff. If you have anything like that, steam it off with water. So that kind of bubbles up. That's the steam taking it off. Nice and clean now. Real easy. So if you were thinking about getting a flat top but didn't know about the upkeep involved, there's really not that much. I encourage you to get yourself one of these things because they are a lot of fun to cook with. So that's pretty much it. I just have a little bit more cleanup to do after all this is plated and good to go, but why don't I throw a little bit on a plate since I am going to time lapse this. Throw a little bit on the plate and give the camera a close-up. Show you kind of what I did. As you can see, my plating is not the prettiest thing in the world, but you know, that's what it looks like. Pretty easy. Rice, veggies of your choice. Make sure lots of garlic and butter, sesame seed oil, soy sauce, and maybe a protein of your choice, and that's what you got. You got a good fried rice dish right there. I'm pretty hungry, so I'm gonna eat this up, and thanks for watching. Bye now.